Hi everyone, so I am here at Pamplona and I'm going to interview one of the counselors here, and he also happens to be a lawyer. So let me introduce to you Attorney Nino A. Ramirez. So good evening, Attorney.
Good evening.
So I'm gonna be asking you one question about the inflation rate. So what's your take on the inflation rate in the Philippines today?
First of all, good evening, and thank you for allowing me to be part of your project. Anyway, inflation rate is very broad topic, right? But however, it's not only a problem in the Philippines. It's a global problem, as you can see, because there are a lot of factors that affects inflation. The trading, financial problems, exchange rate problems, and mostly also inflation was greatly affected. Also, there are like wars in every country, so it affected the inflation rates, most especially the exchange rates, because as we all know, dollars, US dollars is the major or universal currency we have today. So when there are wars all over, big businessmen are trying to hoard the US dollars, so it affects the inflation not only in the Philippines but in a global scale. In the Philippines, we have inflation because we're only a mere consumer in the global market. So if there are and also the high demands of, actually there are a lot of factors that affects inflation. So it is, personally, my take is that we should be expecting inflations from time to time, because there are a lot of demand already, most especially for basic commodities like fuel, gasolines, oil, rice. So I think my take on this is that the Filipinos should, in terms of the rice, or food inflation, food market, we should like before, we have this Filipino first policy during I think that was the late 60s. In the year 60s. Filipino first policy is that we will consume first what we have in the Philippines before importing something from other countries. I think in that case we can solve the problem of inflation for food commodities. However, on the part of the oil products, we cannot, for me, personally, I think we cannot control the high polluting prices of those oil products, because we are merely consumers in the world market. So if the oil price will go as high as it is now, then perhaps what we do is just follow what's the price in the global market. So as a third world country, my take on inflation is that we'll just have what we have, or we should consume what we have for our own sake, and we should lessen our importations. I think that would be my take on inflation in the Philippines now, because it's hard to see inflation as a country itself, because inflation is a global phenomena, and not just as a national problem. It is an international problem, so we should see it as a whole. It's hard to explain inflation in a national standard, because we have the problem of globalization. When globalization existed, so everything is affected internationally because of the international relations of every country. So I think that would be all for my. I don't know if that's your stand as well, but that personally, no, that is my own take or my own understanding about inflation. So for me, if we will have a solution locally, no, so just lesser importations and more support on our local farmers, local workers, and in that way we can solve a little about inflation. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Abiero, and this is Katrina Corda. So today, I will conduct an interview about inflation rate. So, Miss Katrina Corda, how is inflation rate affecting you as Filipino citizen?
So basically, inflation talks about the rate, about the prices of the goods here in the Philippines. So right now, our inflation rate is kind of high, and then it affects us especially to those workers that are earning minimum wage, because right now you need to pay for your basic essentials more higher than the usual. Okay, so the most affected ones on this aspect are the students, because they will be paying for their daily foods, their daily allowances, and of course the daily transportations. So before, for example, the transportation was just around at 10 pesos, but in this time it rises to 20 pesos. At this point of inflation rate, the first thing to be changed is the lifestyle. Especially the average earners, they might need to switch to simpler lifestyle, because a high inflation rate means you will have lower disposable income and may result in less having spending money than you wish to. At this point of inflation rate, the first thing to be changed is the lifestyle. Especially the average earners, they might need to switch to simpler lifestyle, because a high inflation rate means you will have lower disposable income and may result in less having spending money than you wish to.